Hello and welcome to LISI's 6th episode of Coffee with the Carrier. I'm Kevin Timoni, Vice President of Sales for LISI. I have the honor today to interview Michael Payton, Vice President of Sales with Choice Administrators. How you been, Michael?
Doing great, Kevin. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, good to have you on. So, what's going on in the exchange world? We're in the midst of fourth quarter. Things are rocking and rolling. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's that time of year. No way to avoid it, right? When you look at probably 35-40% of the small group health insurance business renews either 12/1 or 1/1, you kind of hit that window between the middle of September and the middle of January where the sales team just has their hair on fire. Everybody's out running around like crazy, but it's busy in a good kind of way, right? This is what salespeople and sales organizations live for, is the opportunity to really engage with their customers, get out in the marketplace, sell some business. So we're having a lot of fun. It's been a good year, and we're all looking forward to getting into the holidays and just enjoying ourselves.
Right, the holidays. It's like, I think our industry celebrates the holidays in January or February. At least we are. Yeah, we're in the throes of it too. It's feast or famine, you know, and it's products like CaliforniaChoice that's creating so much buzz for fourth quarter for us. And it's exciting to operate in a state like California where we have such a prominent exchange environment out here. You know, CaliforniaChoice has really pioneered the exchanges to what we know it today. And I think that's really exciting for a lot of people. And tell us a little bit about how the culture, and I know you got some new leadership over with CaliforniaChoice. What's been going on?
Wow, boy, there's a whole lot to talk about there. So I guess I'll jump in and I'll say, first of all, yeah, the exchange market's great. You know, choice has never been more prevalent, I don't think, in our marketplace, and I'm sure we'll spend a lot of time talking about that today. Yes, we do have some new leadership over at Choice. Everything is great with us from an organizational standpoint. We're really focusing right now on our organizational health, on our cultural health of the company. You know, we've been a very successful company for the last 23 years now. We've got a lot of great people. We've got an incredibly tenured staff. When you look at everybody from an operations standpoint, through the sales organization, through the leadership, really a lot of tenure within the organization. Just my particular division within the sales organization, it's not uncommon at all to have people who've been in the company 10, 12, 15, 16 years. So
CaliforniaChoice is really a success story for the ages. You know, you guys have been in existence since 1996. You were founded by two brokers, and obviously they recognize the importance and value in employee choice. And now, more than ever, with such a diverse, you know, population in California, choice is really an incredible value story, and your ability to deliver that has really been second to none. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, the whole concept of choice, as you know, is something that we've been pioneering for the last 23 years. And I think at a core fundamental level, what it really boils down to is we, you, me, all of us as humans, at our fundamental core, we want choice, right? We want choice in everything we do, every aspect of our life. When you wake up every morning, you get to decide what you're going to wear, you get to decide what you're going to eat, what kind of car you're going to drive, where you're going to live, who you're going to marry. I mean, every aspect of our life we have choice in. And prior to CaliforniaChoice, there really wasn't a whole lot of choice within the healthcare space, right? You had employers really directing maybe one panel of doctors, one carrier, didn't have a choice of formulary. That's really changed over the years, especially with the advent of the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act really created, I don't want to say necessarily parity, but it really compressed the rates and the benefits within the small group space. Mm-hmm. So what that allowed was a lot of similar benefits along the metal tiers. Price points were in similar locations. So from a CalChoice standpoint, when you look at an organization like ours that has 8 health plans, 85, 90 different benefit plan designs, it created an environment where people could take that concept of choice that they have day in and day out and really apply it to their health care. So they could understand, how their family wanted to consume healthcare, and they didn't have to be told what was the best way to consume it.
I love it, and I can I'll quote you from one of our beta events. It's almost in essence individual insurance in a group setting or on a group chassis.
That's right.
You know, and so you speak to the front end value of California Choice. Let's go a year into the program when open enrollment comes up, because we know that brokers are out there. You shop the market, you bring your variety of plans, you look at, you know, what are the pain points at renewal. With Cal Choice, it's just fundamentally different on how you've got levers like defined contribution and employee choice. And from what we see from LASI and our standpoint, the retention of the business is incredibly valuable to a lot of brokers and us, because you have the ability to control and protect some of those businesses that you have within your makeup of groups. So, you know, we've talked a little bit about product, and most of the people here in California are very familiar with California Choice and Choice Administrators. But one of the things we like to do with Coffee with a Carrier is maybe to look behind the veil a little bit, you know, get a sense of what the culture is like at the organization. You know, I, as many of you know, had the privilege of working there for a number of years, and it was just always so impressive, the culture and the atmosphere that came out of Cal Choice. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's really an incredible culture. You know, being a privately held organization, you know, we really look at ourselves as a family. You know, as I mentioned to you prior, we've got a lot of really long-term tenured employees within the organization. We do a lot of events together collectively. You know, we do company picnics, we do Christmas parties, all those things that organizations do. And we're really trying to leverage that right now as a company. You know, as we kind of go into the fourth quarter, we're looking at our 3-year outlook from a company standpoint and how we integrate the culture of our business into our 3-year strategic plan. And that's actually one of our 7 goals of our 3-year strategic plan, is to create the best company culture and the best environment possible. That means a lot of things to a lot of employees, right? It means transparency around information. It means having your leadership team communicate with you. It means understanding, do I know why I'm doing my job? How does my job make a difference? So we're spending a lot of time engaged with all the various teams, all the different departments within the company, to make sure they understand how important their role is and what they do makes a difference and why that matters. You know, I think in our business, a lot of people lose sight of the fact that what we do on a day in and day out basis, it makes a difference in people's lives. We're in the healthcare space, right? We've all had somebody in our family have to go into the hospital or have some kind of medical condition. And the care that you get really hits home when that happens to you. It's really easy to lose sight of that when you're in this business sometimes, of the whole human aspect of our business. And we're trying to get back to that. We're trying to get all of our employees to really understand, whether they're in the mailroom, whether they're a sales rep, whether they're in finance or member services or processing, that every little piece of what they do makes a difference in somebody's life. That's because right. They're a part of our flywheel, those major components that keep our business running, that keep that momentum going. They all make a difference, and we want them to understand that.
And that's, you know, you couldn't have said it better. I think when, you know, you've had the time because of how long Choice Administrators and Cal Choice have been in existence to do that internal, you know, look and really make sure that things internally are buttoned up and things are moving and clicking the way that you want it. But I know recently you and I had a discussion over the summer about now looking externally, looking at the customer, looking at the employer experience. And boy, oh boy, such an important aspect of what we do, because, you know, brokers go out there and they represent the various programs throughout the state in good faith. And then once that stops, the broker to some degree takes a little bit of a back seat, and the carrier then, it's their opportunity, exchange, to shine. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with that employer and employee experience.
Yeah, that's a great point, and you know, you're absolutely right. You know, we've been around 23 years now, and for better or for worse, you know, we spent the better part of that really being an internally focused organization to make sure that we had the systems, the process, the people, the technology, all those types of things in place that we needed to do to make sure that we could conduct business and transact business on behalf of our carrier partners to deliver healthcare out to the marketplace. But at some point, you know, every organization, I think, hits that point in time where you start doing a lot of introspection and really start looking at yourselves and where do you want to go in the future. And for us, that time was this year. And we've made a conscious decision that we really want to focus on being a customer-focused organization, if you will. And that means a lot of things. We have customers internally. We have a lot of customers externally. We have our great business partners like LISI, distribution partners like the brokers. We have members, we have groups, we have a lot of external customers, a lot of external business partners. And for us, we want to make sure that we're listening to their needs. We're making plans right now to implement a lot of feedback mechanisms for all of our customers, both internal and external, so we can make sure that we really understand what our customers are thinking, make sure that we're incorporating their feedback into everything we do, whether it's some sort of new process, whether it's a product development, whether we're looking at technology like our website, or whether we're looking at some of the new connectivity issues, API or things along those lines out in the marketplace. We want to make sure we're listening to our customers to meet the demands of this ever-changing marketplace, because let's face it, the marketplace it's evolving. The marketplace is evolving whether we want it to or not.
It is, and it's there's so many things coming into our business, and for young guys like you and I, it's neat to see some of the disruptors come in and challenge the status quo. You've got direct-to-employer groups now, powerhouse brokers, online technology challenging how brokers operate. You've got carriers being very creative and dynamic with network plays and various tools and triggers to be able to reduce costs and give the benefits that people need in order to feel good about the money that they spend, because let's face it, no one has really contained cost like I think we would have liked to have seen. At least the high water mark is still there. Now, sure. I think you would agree that the renewal cycles have certainly gotten less disruptive, if you will. I think post-ACA, we're seeing a flatter market, more single digits, if you will, versus some of the highs and lows that you and I saw earlier in our career.
Yeah.
And so it looks like ACA has helped in some ways and still has some room to grow in others. Now we've talked a little bit about CaliforniaChoice and the company, but one of the neat things about having Michael here today is to get some perspective on Michael. Michael and I worked together for a number of years, and a lot of the audience may not know is Michael's an artist and also enjoys playing the guitar. So how did you get into those two things? Give us a little sense of that.
You're spilling all my secrets now. There's a lot of things that I really enjoy doing in my spare time. First and foremost, I'm a family man, right? Like yourself, I'm married, I've got kids, they're the priority in my life, and I like to have fun too. I'll tell you a little story. So when I first went away to college at Arizona State University, I moved into the dorm my freshman year. I didn't know anybody. I was 400 miles away from home, and I moved into the dorm. And the first week of school, I had a hard time kind of meeting some folks, and I noticed that my next door neighbor just constantly had a lot of female friends coming over to see him. And so I kind of stopped him in the hallway one day, and I asked him. I said, looks like you're having a pretty easy time meeting some friends here and meeting girls. And being an 18-year-old guy, I was looking to meet some new friends myself.
Sure.
And I said, "What's your secret? What is it?" And he said, they just like to come over and listen to me play guitar. And that's honest to God, that's how it all started. That's how it started. So it became a passion of mine. I played guitar 4 to 6 hours a day all through college, and kind of self-taught, and it's something that's stuck with me through the rest of my life.
That's great. That's great. So one of the things that we are really intrigued with is the ever-changing demands from our brokerage community. And sure. What we have to do collectively from a GA perspective, and then trying to highlight the advancements that the carriers and exchanges are making internally, and where those intersect so that we, for the betterment of our industry, create a better selling environment, servicing environment, and hopefully an environment where brokers feel that they can grow their block of business. And so share with me a little bit about what you guys have identified. I know you guys offer a variety of services, from compliance to other things. Where do you see it today, and what do you think will change over the course of the next couple of years?
That's a great question, Kev. And I think you really hit the nail on the head with that. Brokers And customers, groups, members, everybody, they're demanding more and more every day, right? I mean, you know that as well as anybody. You know, I mean, general agents out in the marketplace, you know, provide an incredibly valuable service. Brokers want more from you, they want more from us. I think a lot of that has taken place over the last 10 to 15 years, particularly with the, I'm going to say, advent of technology, or the prevalence of technology within our space. You know, when the internet came around years and years ago, people started having more access to information in a way that they never did before. And that's kind of caught up and now translates into the healthcare space, right? People are now able to go online and research medical conditions, look at different medications that they're taking. You know, the advancement of data transmission back and forth, EDIs and APIs, how we connect with health plans, how we connect with distribution partners like LISI, how you connect with the carriers. It all really plays a pivotal role in the whole end-to-end user experience for both the group and the member. You know, we see, much as I'm sure you do, technology platforms that help agencies manage their books of business or help to enroll new groups. All those type of things are not going away. I don't think we see those things going away. I think from a California Choice, from a Choice administrator's perspective, we're really looking to modernize all of our technology, and modernizing our technology means a lot of different things. It means our base system, our base platform. We're looking at how we can reconnect different components and modules of our system to be more efficient. We're looking at how we can connect with our partners, right? I mean, we're engaged right now in looking at how we can connect with one another to make the customer experience more user-friendly on the front end as well as on the back end. We're trying to modernize our website. So over the next, I'm going to say over the next 6 to 18 months, rolling out in 3 different phases, we're going to modernize the user experience for our general agent partners, for our brokers, for our groups, for our members, to be able to access information online, to be able to fulfill transactions, whether it's upfront enrollment, whether it's on the back end with renewals, life events, ads, and terms. We really just recognize the fact that we have to be cutting edge from a technology standpoint. We know that there's a lot of third-party systems out in the marketplace that people are connecting to, and they don't just connect to us. They connect to payroll. They connect to workers' comp platforms. They connect to 401ks. I mean, there's all sorts of loops.
The web of services.
The web of technology
products,
and services, right? That's not going anywhere. We know we've got to be a piece of that, and that starts with modernizing our platform, modernizing our website, and modernizing how we connect with our distribution partners.
Yeah, well said. You know, and at LISI, we've taken time to recognize who the front runners are in the business, because you've got a lot of early adopters or early entry points that come in, and you have to be a little hesitant, I think, at times, versus some of the more seasoned companies like Ease, who we've got a great partnership with, who have really established their presence locally as well as nationally. But it's really upon us. It's really our responsibility behind the scenes to be able to work within this this analysis of you know, new companies coming into the business, and that's good to hear. You know, that's good to hear that the Choice Administrators recognizes it like LISI, and again, we're excited about the partnership and the connection that hopefully we'll bring to market sometimes in 2020. I just had this thought that we've talked a whole bunch about California Choice, but there's also another exchange under your umbrella, under Choice Administrators.
That's right.
And that's an ancillary exchange. And it is on its way to being arguably as successful as CalChoice. Tell us a little bit about Choice Builder.
Yeah, Choice Builder is a phenomenal product. You know, conceptually, it's really the same thing as California Choice. It's the whole idea of putting a different mix of products together in one bundle that has seamless administration, right? Enrollment, billing, eligibility, customer service, a simplified, consolidated bill for an employer, but still providing that individual choice, that family choice on a group chassis. You know, it's a product that encompasses dental, vision, chiro, acu, and life, all in one car, right? and you just get to, you get to sit in the driver's seat of that car, and you get to pick how your family wants to access ancillary benefits. Choice Builder for us, I'm going to say over the last probably 3 years, from a net growth percentage standpoint, Choice Builder has been every bit as big, if not larger, than CaliforniaChoice from a growth standpoint. And I think we see more and more small businesses really adding on ancillary coverages. I don't know that we saw that nearly as much in the past. I don't know if that's a function of the Affordable Care Act or what that really is. But people are taking ancillary serious nowadays, and we hope to continue to be able to enhance that product, to be able to offer as many options as possible.
Well, clearly, if it's choice, it's coming out of your guys' operation, and that's good to hear. A lot of people who are just now hearing about CaliforniaChoice or Choice Builder for the first time, it's such an unique selling positioning experience where, time and time again, brokers we work with go out and sit down with their employer, and they think they've narrowed down the perfect carrier for all 20 employees, and lo and behold, a few months later, you get the knock on the door, and I can't access this, or one of my providers fell out of this network, and so forth, where the beauty of selling in an exchange, as you've referenced today, is coming in with that financing mechanism called defined contribution.
Yeah.
It was something that the flag I waved and ran with for many, many years in my early part of my career. And that's such a breath of fresh air for agents that say, for employers that say, this is what I can spend. Empower my employees to go in and select the plan best for their families.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the enrollment makeup, or if you will, where the cards fall, you guys see a lot of diversity. I mean, from what I remember, there's a lot of buying up and buying down when you have the flexibility to purchase something that is your choice.
Yeah. I always like to look at things, I guess, from a lowest common denominator standpoint. And when I'm out, I've got the good fortune, much like yourself, to be able to get out in the marketplace and speak to the masses, speak to brokers in large formats. And one of the things that I always talk about when I get out and talk to the marketplace, and I say this with all due respect to the marketplace when I'm talking to brokers, is, as it relates to healthcare and those decisions, it's really not your choice. And it's really not the employer's choice. It's really none of their business how people consume healthcare, right? And that's the great thing about the choice model, is the choice model takes that purchasing power out of an agent's hands, out of an employer's hands, and really puts the power into the employee's hands to let them decide how they want to consume healthcare. When you look at it from a fundamental standpoint, there's only really a handful of things people are looking at when they're making a benefit selection, right? They're looking at what's their doctor's office visit copay. They're looking at what their out-of-pocket max is, what's their hospital exposure. They want to know if their doctor and their hospital are in network, and they want to know if the maintenance meds or the drugs they have to take are within the formulary, right? So we at Choice, we want to provide them the data and the tools to research all that, but then let them decide how they want to spend those dollars. Because let's face it, what's important to me may not be what's important to you or anybody else. If I give you $200, Kev, to spend towards healthcare for your family, you might not care about having a $50 or a $60 or a $70 copay at the office, right? At a doctor's office visit, whereas somebody else might want a $5 copay. But you can vary your premium, right? You can have a really rich benefit, but you can pair that with a narrow network plan that brings the premium way down, because you could find your doctor in a limited network versus maybe somebody who wants to have that full network, but they don't want to pay for the Cadillac plan. They could choose a lesser benefit but still have that full network plan. That's the power of choice. That's how you get the purchasing decision into an employee's hands, and you get it out of the employer's hands. You want the employer to focus on being able to provide quality health care to their employees, right? Give them choices and do it at an affordable cost. And the model that we have at Choice Administrators, we believe, delivers all that.
And it does it year after year after year after year. and agents don't have to pick up and move the business.
Yeah,
So it's a very slick, in terms of, stressed resources and the cost of running a business going up, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
in
look,
that environment.
let's face it. The healthcare industry for the last 15 years has seen a lot of instability, I'll say, from a premium standpoint, from a financial standpoint. We went through a significant period of time where there were double-digit trends year in and year out for 6, 7, 8, 9 years. I think a lot
RAFs.
of right,
what are
RAFs.
those?
What happened to RAFs? I think a lot of that has really stabilized under the ACA. It's taken a couple of years, but I think the health plans now really understand what their costs look like under the ACA. I think they understand how the risk adjusters are going to impact them. The choice model, in essence, takes the uncertainty for an employer and an employer's budget out of the equation. An employer doesn't have to worry about, hey, am I going to get a 10 or a 15% renewal increase on the plan that I'm contributing towards? And if I do, I can just shift those dollars towards another plan without having to disrupt everybody's coverage,
That's right.
without having to disrupt somebody's doctor, without having to have somebody lose their formulary because their drug is not covered with the different health plans. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds.
It does, and I guess it goes without saying, but credit to the carriers that participate in the exchanges, because they've obviously recognized that there are different buying patterns.
Yeah.
I used to relate to it in the old days of the auto mall, if you will, mentality, that more people are going to get off simply because there's a wider selection for people to choose from. And so it's great to see that the carriers have remained competitive on the street from a standalone, or whether they choose to slice or wrap, if you will, with, say, Kaiser or another HMO in their market, or go all in with products like CalChoice. And I guess same respect to the ancillary products that have gotten into programs
Sure.
like Choice Builder. And as many of you know, we have our own product that's very similar to Choice Builder, CoPower, who operates and is administrated very similar to that. So no question that Choice has a place in our market, and it's good to see that pioneers like Choice Administrators have taken the initiative to really create those markets. So Michael, one of the things that makes up an exchange, or rather the DNA of an exchange, is your carrier partners. And it's got to be a really fun experience to be able to bring together carriers who, by all measures, compete aggressively in the marketplace, and then they come to your shop and sit down and talk about how to grow the exchange. Tell me a little bit about your partners and what that's like.
Yeah, boy, it's definitely an interesting dynamic. I've got a little bit of a carrier background myself, so I understand their perspective on things, right? But look, I guess what I'll say at a fundamental level is our carrier partners have been fantastic. They have been, the backbone of our success over the years. Their support has been just so invaluable to us. For us, our flywheel and everything we do really starts with our carrier partners. It starts with our drive to really kind of achieve the benefits and plans, the networks, the rates, as close as possible, to be as closely aligned with what the carriers are offering out in the marketplace. And so the dialogues that we have with them really center around what does our mutual success look like. And they've been so phenomenal to work with. We couldn't do this without them, and likewise our distribution partners. For us, it all starts with distribution. We don't sell directly to the marketplace. We work through agents we have for 23 years, and we work through general agent partners. So we couldn't do this alone. So obviously a big thanks to all of our friends on the GA side, LAS, who's been a great partner for us over the years. We couldn't do it without our carrier partners and our distribution partners.
You bet. It's something to be said for that wholesale mentality. The ability to provide brokers with products, new and exciting things to get them to get out there and go after employers. Recently we were acquired by AmWINS, who is the largest, thank you very much, who is the largest wholesaler of brokerage products in the U.S. And getting to the opportunity to sit down with them and talk about the ways to continue to support and really elevate brokers and the ability to get out there and sell is something that I know is part of that fabric that both of our organizations believe wholeheartedly in. And really arming brokers with the right tools to go out and compete with some of the disruptors that are coming in. You know, you've got big payroll companies, you've got, you know, the companies like Namely, Decisely, Gusto. All of them are challenging the market. And the best thing I love about the state of California is there's enough for everybody. There really is. I mean, this is the mecca of small group and businesses and really the whole country. And so, you know, as successful as we are and how much business is written with our exchange partners and our carriers and what we see, there's still so much untapped out there. Yeah. And it goes without question that when we are able to come to our brokers with an exchange like CaliForniaChoice that's got services, technology, people that can commit and stand behind their brand, aligned with a company like LISI and AmWINS, I mean, who knows what the potential is for the future to get out there and really deliver the best-in-class products from a GA perspective, and also watch your evolution at Choice Administrators. Talk to us a little bit about what's going on with a little bit of rebranding that's going on over there. We've got California Different, and I'm starting to see that kind of emerge. Tell us what's going on with it. You know, I know Polly Nevis is heading your marketing charge, and she's always coming up with such amazing things. And so tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, Polly and the marketing team are great, so shout out to Polly. Look, for us, California Different, you know, California Different's a celebration for us. I think most of us have a relative or somebody we know, right, who doesn't come from California, who doesn't live in California. And they always say, oh, those California people, they're just different, right? Well, we want to celebrate that. Choice Administrators is different. You know, you actually mentioned a word a minute ago. You mentioned the word disruptors. I think that's a good thing. I think our market needs disruptors. Sometimes you really get complacent when you're in an industry for too long without too much change. And so for us, our whole business model, it's different. You know, here in California, we celebrate as Californians the fact that we are different. We're incredibly proud of that, right? Our culture's just different here. The way we talk, and everybody talks about the beach bums and the surfboards and all those kind of things. And there's certainly a bit of truth to it, right? And it's the same way for Choice Administrators. We see ourselves as uniquely different. We want to celebrate that. There really isn't a whole lot that looks like what we look like in the marketplace. And we're constantly wanting to challenge our carrier partners to help us do things differently, to challenge our distribution partners to celebrate the difference and not just sell the same old way, but to really retrain and teach the distribution and teach the marketplace that there is a different way to sell small group health insurance, and there's a different way to purchase small group health insurance. So for us, California Different is going to be something you're going to see a lot of in the coming months and over the coming years. It's something that we expect we're going to really embrace long term. You know, we believe our employees have already embraced it. They love the idea of standing out and being a little bit unique and different. And so we're going to find new and creative ways to get our message out in the marketplace, and we're going to ask our distribution partners you know, to open their mind and help us celebrate the fact that we're different and help us spread that message. You know, you can call it grassroots if you'd like, but we're going to embrace it.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it's a collective effort from everybody, because as we recognize at LISI, the brand is really a flag that every single person within the organization has to wave, you know, for it to actually hit the market and come to realization. You have mentioned a couple of times the flywheel. You know, pulled from Good to Great, great book. I think a lot of people in our audience have watched it. To me, that speaks to a bit of a blueprint or a game plan, if you will. Talk to us a little bit about that, how that's impacting the organization and you guys' ability to adapt and follow some of those things that are in that book.
Yeah, boy, great question. So the flywheel, it's a really interesting concept, and it's something that if you look at great companies out in the marketplace, whether they're big or small, you can really look at a couple of different things. But at a fundamental core level, they understand what helps their business build momentum, right? At a very core fundamental level, great companies understand the key components of what they do and what the employees do that makes their wheel turn, right? When you think about a flywheel, it's like a giant gear. And man, it's tough to get that gear moving, but once it gets going, it builds momentum, and it's tough to slow down. And so for us, we're really trying to take a disciplined approach to how we engage our own internal employees, our internal customers and constituents across the different departments, get them to understand how their role plays a key piece in that. And for us, our flywheel, it involves about 6 different components that really all work together. There's not necessarily one starting spot on the flywheel that gets it turning, but they all interlink and they all work together. And if we do each of those components really well, we know we're going to pick up and we're going to build momentum. Things along the lines of, working towards having, similar benefits or the same benefits and networks that our carriers have out in the marketplace. Because the closer that we can drive to having similar benefits or the identical benefits that our health plan partners have, we know that's going to attract more distribution. The more people are going to want to sell us. And the more people that sell our products, that's going to generate some more revenue for the company, right? And if you can generate more revenue, you can invest that revenue into your people and your tools and your technology. And that helps you build your brand, right? I mean, and you can talk about it, how each piece is interconnected together. We're trying to focus on that. It's really easy to get distracted as a business with things that don't necessarily move your flywheel, that don't make a difference in your business. It doesn't make a difference in how you engage with your customers. It doesn't make a difference in how you design your products, how you grow your revenue. But we're in the middle right now of our 3-year plan, okay? And we're going to launch our 3-year plan in 2020. And that flywheel is at the core of that. And we've built a plan that's a discipline-focused plan where everything we do, all of our, close to 200 business objectives we have over the next 3 years, they all relate back to the strategic goals and the flywheel that we've built to keep us focused on what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish in the marketplace.
That's great. There's no mistake, there's no accidents, right? And it sounds like the success that Choice Administrators has enjoyed throughout the years and is going to enjoy in many years to come is by design, because organizations with a commitment like that and the internal and external focused and having that game plan to go after it, that's what spells success, and that's exciting to hear.
Great.
So we just referenced, the adapt or die, right? Eat or be eaten. This industry is moving at such a rapid pace.
Right.
And so as general agencies and exchanges, we have to stay ahead of that. And there's so much market change happening, whether it's who's marketing to who, how they're marketing, in-state, out-of-state. We've got aging broker population. Yeah. Do we have the gaps being filled from the next generation? I mean, you touched on that earlier.
Yeah, that's a great point. When you look at the small business health insurance marketplace, we've been one of the last industries to really, I think, modernize and really adapt to change, whether it be technology, whether it be sales process, whatever it is, and we've talked a little bit about the fact that there hasn't been a lot of young blood from a distribution standpoint, right? Not a lot of new brokers coming into this business. We're just now really starting to see that. And I think to your point, what you were talking about is how we engage them as an industry has to evolve, and it has to be different. For the broker that wants to continue to be successful, the guy who's been working 20, 25, 30 years in this business, who knows this business and believes they've got it wired, you still have to adapt because the technology is evolving. The carriers are evolving. The general agents are evolving. We can't have health plans, third-party administrators, third-party distributors. We can't have everybody evolving except the broker population because we're changing our business process, right? Collectively as an industry, we're changing business process. And back to our dialogue about value, right? What's your value? And if you're not constantly trying to refresh what you do, if you're not constantly trying to bring value, be a disruptor, evolve and change, somebody's going to come along who does. And I think that's really the best advice, that if I had to give advice to anybody who's been in this business a long time, who's been successful in this business, I've got all the respect in the world for that, and I'll pat them on the back all day long. But I'm still going to have an honest dialogue and say, you know what, you still got to evolve as well. We all have to change and we all have to adapt, and this industry is changing, whether you like it or not.
No one wants their milkshake to get drank by somebody else, and that's exactly what will happen if you're not in tune with the way that we're evolving as an industry. Man, Michael, I'll tell you what, we've touched on a lot of things here today. You know, we looked at the history and the journey of choice administrators and CalChoice. We touched on the evolution of exchanges and how prevalent they are here in California, the impacts of ACA and what they've had on you and us at LISI. And I think one of the common denominators is you've got two organizations that are staying ahead of the market as best as we can. We're adapting to the different needs of our brokerage community. We're both looking at branding and how we can create better piping and infrastructure so that those agents, to your point, that are adapting and that do want to bring technology into the forefront of their agency, we're here to support them.
That's right.
You know, we can help them connect. And, you know, it goes without question how much LISI respects California Choice and Choice Administrators, everything you guys have done. It's near and dear to my heart, especially having the opportunity to work with you for so many years, and you know, the rest of the folks at Choice Administrators, all the sales folks and admin and marketing, just really, really top-notch people, folks. And if you haven't had the opportunity to get out and work with Choice Administrators or CalChoice, give us a call them direct. They fully support the GA model and what we can do as a team to support brokers with all of the challenges that you guys have out there. If we don't have it, it's likely that CalChoice does. And if CalChoice doesn't, it's something that we probably have. And that complement where we marry each other and we combine our services and support is really second to none. Michael, I can't thank you enough for being here with Coffee a Carrier. Looking forward to seeing you out at all the holiday events that I'm sure I'll see you around. But thanks a lot for being here.
Well, Kev, you know, thanks for having me. First of all, big thanks to you and Jeff and the whole LISI team. It's been, needless to say, a hell of a lot of fun to sit down with an old friend and just kind of catch up over a little bit of coffee. LISI has been a great business partner of ours over the years, both from a leadership level as well as just a day-to-day field market engagement level. And you've got the commitment of myself and the Choice Administrators organization that we're going to continue on that partnership journey. We look forward to what the future holds for both of our organizations, and we look forward to collaborating with you. So thanks for having me today.
Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it.